My name is Dr. Cynthia Gonzalez. I'm a high school principal in South Central Los Angeles. I grew up and live in the Southeast. I'm also a candidate for LACCD Board of Trustees. To be a first generation college student, what that meant for me was doing a lot of things that had never been done before. Aside from all of the academic pieces, so many of the cultural pieces, and just even being able to get to a university was a daunting task. There's a lot of bravery connected to first generation students because they're going into so much that is unknown. But I also feel like we inherit that bravery from our families who came to this country with that same, right? Like no sense of what they're going to be coming to and still do it. So I feel like in a way it connects us to like the experience of our parents coming to this country to like embark on something new. Me in South Central Los Angeles, I know one of the primary obstacles for our kids is their need to help their family. It's not just a choice, it's a necessity that families depend on their children once they leave high school to start bringing in income. And for students who feel the pressure of having to meet that demand and support their family, make those decisions, right, to prioritize themselves, even though in the long run, it's to the benefit of the entire family unit. I think the immediate need for kids is like we need to pay the bills now. We need to have food on our tables now. So I think there needs to be some creative thinking about how we provide students opportunities to earn income while simultaneously going to school. So I think that the role that educators play in the lives of first generation students is significant. They are gatekeepers, they are demystifiers of the process, they are believers, they are encouragers, they are problem solvers. Like educators hold so much power in the potential future of their students. And so anything from telling them that on the negative side, right, like it's not possible, it's not for you. Because I remember when I was in Bell, I had asked my music teacher if I could go to the college center. I was like, I need to go finish my college applications. And he's like, well, if you need help with your college applications, you probably shouldn't be going to college. So just as they can play a role in being detrimental to someone's aspirations, they can do the opposite, which is to inspire, like my college advisor did when I was at Bell, Mr. Avelis. They can create a pathway. They can allow you to see that it's possible. So when I graduated from Santa Barbara, I had applied to go to UCLA to get my teaching credential and my master's. And my mom, it was funny. I mean, it's kind of like the same battle, right? My mom was like, I think you're scared of working. Like, why are you going to go to school again? Like, I thought that was it. And I'm like, well, I like want to be a teacher and I have to do this to be a teacher. And she's like, I just feel like you're scared to work and you need to just start working. You know, I think that's connected to like our cultural understanding of higher education in our communities. And so my experience at UCLA, I mean, I haven't left. That's how I see it. I'm always there. I mean, right now with COVID, I'm there virtually, but I've never left. It's just being in a space and at a school whose sole purpose is around social justice and addressing issues of equity. For the most part, and not always, but for the most part, you're surrounded with like-minded people. Having conversations about education and the education space. And so just that level of comfort, you kind of start, you almost kind of start growing like a bigger backbone of being proud of who you are and what you bring because it's so valued in that space. And the more connected you are to the communities you're going to serve, the more value there is to who you are as a human being. My idea is having like a high school principal's perspective on the LACCD Board of Trustees, I think can be really transformative because we get to really know the students in our schools in ways that a larger community college isn't just structured to be able to do. The service models are quite different. And I've been lucky enough to be in a small school, which I love serving in a small school setting where our like student to counselor ratio is probably about 250 to 1 versus like 600 to 1 versus a counselor who's just on rotation, at some of the community colleges and how they work. And so I think understanding that in the communities, especially our most underserved communities, especially in communities like South LA that constantly get left behind, the level of support that students need is intensive. And those supports aren't just having access to an adult, but having access to an adult that you've developed a very clear and solid relationship to and with. And so I feel like there's a lot to be done in rethinking how we offer services to students in a more personalized way, targeted to students from certain communities that really need that type of shift in structure to be successful. The advice that I would give first generation students is to be okay being intimidated to ask for something and work through that sense of intimidation. Take a deep breath, persínense, and then just go in and do it. I know that often gets in the way of us asking for the help that we need, because we already feel a certain way about being in that space, right? And the rights we might have or not have in that space. And so then to even feel more like a burden and needing help. But I feel like the more we practice our own self-advocacy, the more we should use up all those resources that are there because we deserve them. And so it does take courage, but people just need to be willing to just step into that space and ask for the help that they need.